Are you ready for today's discussion?
Yes.
Last week, I told you to do some research on water pollution so that we can start to work on the project aiming to raise the environmental awareness of the public, right?
Yes, and I've already done some research and I'm eager to share now.
Me too.
Okay, wonderful. So let me start on today's discussion first. According to the United Nations, about 4 billion people experience severe water shortages for at least 1 month per year, and almost a quarter of the world's population have problems accessing a clean or safe water supply. As we all know, the main culprit of this situation is the global crisis that we are going to discuss today, water pollution. So, Vivi, could you tell me what are the most common types of water pollution?
Sure. According to the Natural Resources Defense Council, there are 3 most common types of water pollution, and which are oil pollution, agricultural pollution, and wastewater.
Exactly. Then could you please tell me more about each type?
Yes. So, simply put, oceans are polluted by oil on a daily basis from oil spills, routine shipping, and also runoffs and dumping. And since oil cannot dissolve in water, so it forms a thick slug of the water and causes aquatic animals to lack oxygen. And also marine wildlife such as fish and sea otters are also deeply affected since their habitat and reproductive rate are damaged.
Great, you really did your homework. Then how about Violet? Could you tell me what you have searched online?
Of course. So as for agricultural pollution, it contains the waste that people dump into the water system. And the waste is from the process of growing livestock, food crops for both humans and animals, and also biofuel crops.
I see. Then could you explain how the waste pollutes the water with an example?
Sure. So for example, animal waste is often left untreated. Without an appropriate disposal process, the waste often goes straight into the rivers and then pollutes the ocean.
Yeah, that's right. People should really think of a proper way to dispose of waste. Then how about Vivi? Could you also give me an example about oil pollution?
Oh, yes. And I believe everyone has heard of one of the largest oil spills, the Deepwater Horizon, and also known as the BP oil spill. So according to the Article 11, major oil spills of the maritime world by Mohit. The explosion of BP oils resulted in an oil spills that continued for over 3 months, and it caused intensive damages to the marine environment.
Okay, thank you both for introducing the 2 types of water pollution. So now let me introduce the last type, which is wastewater. Wastewater is the water that's come from our sinks, showers, toilets, and industrial or agricultural activities. It also comes from stormwater runoff, which happens as rain washes road tar, grease, chemicals, and debris into the waterway from impermeable surfaces. According to the United Nations, more than 80% of the world's wastewater flows back into the environment without being treated or reused.
That sounds terrible. Is there any related incident?
According to a news article on the UN News website, on April, over 300 homesteads and businesses near the Piney Point site in Manatee County were compelled to evacuate as a retention pond holding pollution water from a former phosphate plant began emitting the liquid from a ripped seam in its containment liner.
Wow, that's a real disaster.
Yeah, so you can see that water pollution is really serious in this era. So, Vivi and Violet, as college students, what do you think you can do to improve this situation?
Well, for students like us, I think we can establish a social media account and use it to share the information about water pollution. Like, for example, we can post an article about the serious cases of wastewater and ask our classmates to keep sharing the article. In this process, it can make more people notice about the crisis, and some may even launch campaigns to prevent this situation from worsening.
That sounds like a good idea of our project. Let's open an account right away so we can share what we have discussed today to raise the public's environmental awareness.
I agree. Mr. Khan, can we do that?
Oh, of course. So let's use the power of social media to do something meaningful and helpful to our Mother Earth.